Hey everybody, it's Steve here. This is my channel Carter's Kids, my channel dedicated to my Gary Carter sports card and memorabilia collection. So what I'd like to be able to do is do a collection update. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to get through for this video, but I'd like to at least try to get my first two binders. So without delaying, let's get into it. But first, before I even do the binder, I think it might be cool to take a look at some of the cards spread across the cards I'd really like to show for this update. So these represent some new pickups, some older stuff that I've had, but ultimately the update video, the first part that I want to do would be from the 70s through 80s, and then the second part would be the 90s through modern. So I'm definitely heavier toward the vintage stuff and the 70s, 80s, and definitely gets lighter as we get modern. But these would be some cool items across the collection that I currently own. Again, some are newer pickups and some have been in the collection for a little while. I think over the last year I picked this one up, a signature with Ray Knight. I really like this one with Davey Johnson. This is a Blacklist, an OPC Topps Mini. I don't know if there's anyone that's higher graded than that, but I'd love to be able to find one if I could someday. What kind of back is this? This is a stats back, greenback, if you will. That's a 10 on the 77. This guy right here is one of my favorites. This would be his Players Association card during the 1986 season. On the back of this Ruschel card, you'd see that Gary is mentioned as collecting cards, so I put that in the collection. This was newer from a collection that was, I guess, dismantled and purchased, and I got this from the person who purchased the collection. All right, so let's take a quick look. Let me put this charging cord here. I hope that stays. Yep. And we'll take a quick look over here at some of the other stuff. Again, if you've seen this channel, this is all stuff that you've seen already. But these are from the Gary Carter collection. These items that you're seeing here on this side of the layout. So this is the Mini, and these are 3 of the rookies that he did own, and I believe this is the highest graded one from the Carter collection itself. Here's a Mickey Mantle. Here's a Mickey Mantle. These down here are some fun ones that I have. They're from the Gary Carter collection. This is really the only vintage Nolan Ryan I own, and quite frankly, I don't really see a need to get any more. I'd love to have a rookie maybe someday, but I think this 1970 will do. And we've got some other greats: Koufax, Clemente, Maris, Bob Gibson rookie from the Gary Carter collection, another Roberto Clemente. And again, if you've seen my older videos, I have the entire 1959 set owned by Gary Carter, and these are just various ones that have been signed by Gary as a kid on the back. You'll see that each of them has that. These Packers cards are signed by Gary on the back. That's cool. That's my very first card in my collection. I had since I was a kid, and this one here might be the most unique in the collection in that Mickey Mantle being Gary Carter's favorite player, this may have been his favorite card as a kid. So in terms of value, this might be the most expensive card in the entire collection. And over here, this is a Boston Red Sox team card that he made to say Ted Williams, because Ted Williams doesn't have an individual player card in the collection. So let's plug this thing back in, because I have very little battery life. All right, I hope that's working. Didn't hear a buzz. Oh, give me a second here. Let's make this. Okay, I don't think I'm going to hear a buzz on this then. Well, I guess we got to make it work, right? So this is cool. These are some 1975 official All-Star ballots, and this person wrote Gary Carter in from the time period, so I included it. Postcards. So this is starting with 1975. I break my binders into years. Can't guarantee that that's authenticated, but putting it in there. So I do put miscuts and things like that, sheet cuts in to my collection. Yeah. Made for TV production slide. So these would be like variations with like inks, photos. My buddy Isman. So again, photos from the era. So this is this type of box bottom postcards. Hold on one second. All right, let's keep going here. Sorry about that. We got this box bottom type. This all came from my buddy Caleb. This is unopened, made for TV. Got a signed version here. I got where's the signed version here? There it is. That one's got the kid on it. Got a signed checklist. 76, now we're on to 77s. Sorry if I'm dragging here a little bit in the beginning. I'll try to speed it up. I count these because they're signed and they're different. And this one has a printing. That's not like whiteout or anything. That's actually a printing defect. So I counted that as a separate, different. Always love miscuts. So I do count them as different. That's a Mork and Mindy with the 78 Carter back. These patches are tough. So this is interesting. This brawl that took place at home plate, that's the ticket from the game that took place in. Nice cards. Again, some of these are going to be weird in that they're like cut from magazines or they're photos from newspapers. Like literal, like the actual photo used for the newspaper, not just like taken out of the newspaper. But there are also newspaper clippings in this collection as well. I don't think you're going to see this too easily. Tickets. Scratch-offs. Signed. That's signed as well. It's not a facsimile. I put pages in between sometimes if there's like a photo or a slide negative that might indent, so try to leave some space to cushion. So this picture right here was used for the scratch-offs. I believe that's 120 millimeter film. All right, maybe I'll only be able to get through 2 binders for today, as this is taking more time than I anticipated, and I don't want to bore you to death either with this material, and especially with me dropping the camera all the time. All right, let's get into it. Some film slides. That's a packet with the slides in it. Adams brand. That's just a general photo. We got that. We got that. These are all the same. I just didn't have any place really to put. I try not to put the same things in the binder. I generally try to keep everything unique of each other, but when I just don't have, when it's an odd size like that, I have to put it with the rest of it, simply because I don't have any other spot to put it. So that's a tall proof. A lot of proofs in here, a lot of... So this is cool. So this is for the hardcore collector out there. So what I do is, if I have something signed, you can see it's signed very faintly. If it's a blue, if it's black, if it's green, whatever color it is, I count it as a separate card in my collection because it's slightly different. But for the hardcore collector out there, you'll also notice that you'll see it says need stickers and it says albums coming soon. All right. So when you see that sort of stuff, there are slight variations even on things that you didn't think that there are variations on. And that's what my collection is really big into, is variations. So these are the Zellers, and then these are the single ripped Zellers. These are some photos. We got a Rocket Richard. So this is Gary meeting Wayne Gretzky. It's the actual photo used for the newspaper. Whether or not it was used, I don't know. It's from the same event. Again, a lot of these pictures were given to me by my friend Wendy, who might even be a bigger Gary Carter fan than myself, but really nice person. And she got to meet him, and I got some real cool stories from her about how nice Gary was. And yeah, so a lot of these photos are from my friend Wendy. This right here I found at the 2022 National, and this is, I guess, an artist rendition of used for a newspaper or something. And so this is the actual print, the actual ink that the artist used, and then it was signed by Gary. That was a little pricey, a little bit more than I wanted to pay, but I thought it was unique, and that was probably the most unique item I walked out of the National with this year. And I could talk more about the National in one of my live feeds. Just give me a second here. Let me adjust the door. Hold on, and you're going to have to blur out in the camera again. Sorry. All right, good. So yeah, let's continue. I got this card over here, and that was signed by Gary. I thought that was pretty cool. And you can see he's one of these guys lined up along the field. Sorry, I'm pushing the camera out of the way as I'm talking. This, I remember I got at the Blizzard of 1996. That was one of the cards I bought with the money I got from shoveling. I still remember that. Got the easy. All right. Cool. Joe Garagiola, Gary Carter. Box cut card. Proof. A lot of proofs in here. All-star ballots if I can find them. Connected sticker, which is weird. Some cool signatures. As you can see, my buddy Ground Truck sent me these. coming up on the 15-minute mark. I probably would have nailed it if I didn't stop and drop the camera a couple times. But what are you going to do? This is from the National as well. So again, a lot of these photos came from my friend Wendy, who's a Gary Carter fan extraordinaire. This came out of a newspaper. Some people count them as baseball cards, you know, because the theory was that kids, were supposed to cut these out and use them as like little cards from the paper. So I count it as a card. One of these is it's not this one, I don't think. There's no 3D graphic in the background. It's like a proof with Carlton Fisk. Yeah, so there it is. So there's no, these two right here, there's no 3D effect in the background. One's a blank back proof and one is a printed back proof. Let me just double check something with you while you're here. Okay, yeah, so it's got a black back, the ink, that is. And then that's it. So this is through 83, and I guess we can get to other years in a little bit, but I think 16 minutes is a lot for somebody to digest on this, so I guess I'll see you guys next time when I do another update. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.